Two hearts, one hope, a simple song. They built it up with love and grace, a mobile home, their sacred place. But time was cruel and fate unkind. He left too soon, no clear goodbye. She stood alone, bills in her hand, still paying off their promised land. She carries the dream he left behind in every crack, in every line. Though the floor may sag and hope feels thin, she won't give up on what could have been. She carries the dream through every tear. She carries the dream year after year. She worked past age of 70 each day. The aches grew loud, the joy would stray. No savings left, no helping hand. Still she refused to let it stand. Each creaking step a silent plea. The walls still hum old memories. No tools can fix what time has spun. She holds on tight to lay her head, not run. She carries the dream he left behind in every crack, in every line. Though the floor may sag and hope feels thin, she won't give up on what could have been. She carries the dream through every tear. She carries the dream year after year. I see him there at break of day, his voice in the wind that won't blow away. And if this place falls brick by brick, the love won't leave, it always stays.
How's everybody doing today? We are live on YouTube. Rumble's up. The .com is up. Everything's looking good, as it should. Today is 7/28/2025. Glad to have everybody here. Hope all is well. We got to speak with Mike today.
Yeah, we got an update. Mike is about the same, so at least he's not getting worse, so we're grateful for that. So he just still doesn't have a lot of energy, so we didn't talk long, so just keep him in your prayers as always, and his family, and let's send energies towards him so he can get over this. And we appreciate all y'all's prayers and support.
Did you update him on the situation with Scruffy?
Yes, and I updated him on the update on Scruffy that we had got. We were able to get her the RV, and that Glenda picked it up and it's on its way. We'll be there sometime next week. So he was very happy about that. He was very, very happy. He said he was so glad to hear some good news. So that was good. It put him in a good mood.
Got a little update on Scruffy Lou. First, we want to thank everybody that was involved in that. In the last few months, donating to Scruffy is greatly appreciated. Definitely couldn't have done it without everyone's participation or yeah. I'm trying to think of another word. I'm like, it's not. So we want to thank everybody because it took us all coming together to show that what we can do when we do actually want to take care of something or somebody or something. There's nothing that we can't accomplish when we come together as one.
That's right.
And one cause, regardless of, you know, our religious views or political views or anything like that. So here is the update on the trailer. This is it. It's getting it picked up right here.
Got the windows all closed up. It all closed up. Got it hooked up.
Hooking it up.
We're fixing to roll with it.
So they drove a couple of hours to pick this up. And so if it wasn't for Glenda and her husband actually taking time out of their lives and making this possible, this would be nearly impossible to accomplish because we're all in different states.
That's right. And it costs a fortune to have a RV towed anywhere. So we're so grateful that she wasn't here. Her and her husband took the time to go to do all this.
And there it is.
It's nice.
That's a 30-footer. It's got 2 doors, which is good. Look, brand new tires. Let's see if we can get a good check on it. I believe the cost was $4,500 for the RV. It's 2005, I believe.
Yes.
If you go look, I have some examples. We got also indoor video as well, right?
Yeah.
Here we are going down the road. Let's see right here. See it in the back?
Yep, they're picking it up. She was so excited.
See it in the rearview mirror?
Yes.
But we got it. We're on our way. It's going to take 2 hours to get back home.
So that's a 4-hour round trip.
There's your examples.
Yeah, 45. Here's a trailer of the same model. This one's a 2004 and it's 8,500. So they really got a really good deal.
Yes.
On the RV. Pretty much the same, except right here she's got the electric leveling on the front, on the toe. A newer model like that would be $40,000 now.
Jeez.
Anywhere from 40 to 31, 34, just to show you what the market is.
You definitely want them to get a used one. The new ones are outrageous.
So the difference here is this is on a maybe an RV for sale business, right? RV sales.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, RV lot.
And instead of getting it from an individual.
I always try to get from an individual.
We got it home.
That's when they got home with it.
Here it is right here. Oh, hold on one second. There we go. It's in good condition.
It's in real good condition.
That's the back door. Front.
Got a screen door too. And then these steps let out. Still, I'm picking it from the truck. But this is the inside. That's the sofa couch. That lets out to a bed. Okay, so the slide in is
That's the slide out.
Yeah, that's the
It's
slide
in
out.
right now. So when it goes out, it's going to look more spacious. That goes out.
Right. So we're gonna have that video update. Storage up top.
So
Slide out right here.
the slide in is pushed in. That's the
Right here.
Yeah.
That's the table. It is,
So this slides out. So it's gonna be opened up right here.
Yes.
and a little.
This is where your TV would go right here. You know, whatever.
Let's see what else. Oh my.
And he left a lot
He
of
left
stuff
you
in
some things, Scruffy.
the
There you go,
dog leash.
Scruffy. Roughing it. You're gonna be roughing it with that one.
You got 2 dog leashes. He left a lot of good, nice stuff in there for her, which is awesome.
He said she got dogs. I said, yeah. He left you
Is that the one you got for me for Christmas?
some
Yeah.
stuff for you. It's pretty
There's some
cool.
batteries, it looks like. Pack
When I
batteries.
show you something, you're going to be like, wow. There's cabinets. He left you some coffee. And
He left her some coffee
where is it? Oh, there it is.
Best part of waking up.
in a coffee cup.
It's Folgers in your cup.
Coffee pot.
Look at that coffee pot. Ready to go.
Yep.
Coffee,
Cups.
and cups and stuff. He said, does she need it? I said, she probably use it.
Storage up here. Plugs for your microwave, stuff like that.
Yes.
Extra plug up here.
Filters.
The towels.
Gas stove. Gas stove. Yeah, garden.
Propane.
And this, I know you don't like microwaves, but it's more than a microwave. It's an air fryer. I think it's an air fryer. It roasts. It does different things. Plus, it is a microwave, but it's more than a microwave.
See, it still has the protective film on it.
Mm-hmm. On the control. Yeah, it's brand new.
That's pretty cool. And then
You don't have to keep these on. This is for when you're traveling. So I guess, and it looks
Yeah,
kind
it
of
locks it in
to
place.
keep the door from opening, possibly.
this is the refrigerator. These are locked.
So I don't think that's how it's spinning. Yeah, it's for like traveling locks. They must have did a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
When you're living in it, you can take those off,
Yeah.
but you can just keep them there because they're already attached.
Yeah. True.
Big freezer, still got the blue
On
tape on it on the inside, really.
here. This is the bathroom, which is so dark. You can't see the light in here.
We left her some toilet paper too.
Toilet. And he gave you a broom. This is pertinent. Looks. You see that? Shower.
Yeah, the cool thing about those fridges is they burn off a 12-volt battery. Even if the power goes off, it's still got the battery
Oh, yeah. You can.
that keeps the fridge. So all you have to do is put a solar panel on it if you're out camping in the boondocks or whatever to charge the battery, and keep you don't lose your groceries
Yeah, it's nice.
if the power goes out. And you still have lights on the inside too.
Like a vacuum and one of the mops.
So he left her a vacuum and a mop as well.
So you got a vacuum cleaner, a little portable vacuum cleaner, and a mop. I think that's what that means. And then here's the side of the refrigerator. That's where the garbage can
The
is.
trash cans, it's a closet. Really,
And then you got the bottom. It says you can have this little fan. It charges up
Little pan.
the wire instead of that.
it's just more storage right there. Whatever you want to put.
And
Storage under the bed.
he
The
said
bed
he
should
got
lift up.
this. He said there's no one. And he said the mattress, I'm going to pull this up.
And this is another slide out too, right? So this comes out, or no?
I think it's
Bought
just one
this
slide.
mattress.
Okay, so
And he said it's practically brand new because he only slept on it twice. There's
Mattress looks nice. That's a full mattress.
it's not a
Mattress,
trailer
check.
Mattress, it's a regular mattress, so it's a little bit bigger than that.
Usually you don't get a brand new mattress with an RV.
That, you paid like $500 or $600 for that. I'm like,
This is pretty good in the back because you get really poor circulation.
It's usually hot in the bedroom.
You want it to be cool in the bedroom, I guess, if you're in the summertime while you're sleeping, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this would help with
So that, like she said, that
the heat of the day.
air conditioning, he paid about $500 to $600 just for that alone, and he left that for her, which is awesome.
You just got to clean the filter out of it every now and then. But here, the exhaust goes out the window, side window.
you said you can have that because it gets hot back here. Like if you shut this door thing here, just shut off the door. And this has got a little. You got a closet over there, and a closet over here, and I think that's another little. And I think you said
That's where you put your pistol at. You put a gun over here, and then one on the side, and then one that falls down from the roof.
And these are vents that they open up and air. That's another door that opens up to go outside. You got 2 doors. It's pretty nice. It needs a little bit of cleaning. It's not dirty, but I just like to like everything. More cabinets over there, bud.
See the radio?
Yep.
She must have speakers throughout.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you like it, Stevie. There's your antenna. Scroll that out.
Yeah, spin that up. That's what your TV hooks into.
Let's walk around the outside. There's steps that out. More animals out.
So not that much carpet at all, just in a little section.
Yep.
Storage.
This is where you got more storage underneath there, and those things go with it.
And that's your what?
That's for the leveling.
box.
That's electric,
Electric. Yep.
which is nice. This has 2 gas tanks in it. And that's the other side of the storage. That's
There's the slide out.
In right now.
Boy, look at them tires, man.
Those are nice.
You normally don't get good tires on a trailer like that. I think this is your outdoor shower.
Water connection.
Yeah, outdoor sink or shower.
Yeah, that little thing flat.
See it, shower.
Yeah. That one.
Scrumpy, if you want to take a shower in the backyard, you just open this up.
Yeah.
Wash the dogs, whatever. Yep. Storage.
Storage is right here.
It's your electrical. 30 amp.
Spare tires.
Super lightweight. There's the old ladder to get on the roof in case you have to.
Get up there someday.
Got it here now. Next weekend, we plan on taking it up there. As soon as we can get home, get rest a little bit, we're gonna take off. Even if it's 2:00 in the morning, we're gonna look up and take off to get the scrubbies. So next weekend, it'll be there. Hey, I'm so excited, y'all. This thing is nice, and this one was $46. 500, 4,500 paid for. But, okay, they like it. I hope Scrubby loves it. I think she will. Love y'all. And thank you so much.
Nice tinted windows.
Very nice.
We did it for Scruffy. That's amazing. Hi, Scruffy. You're going to get your trailer. That's so awesome. I'm so glad to be a part of this. It's a good feeling. There's only one thing wrong with the trailer. The compass that says north pointing up, it's wrong. It needs to be turned around. North is south.
Oh,
Other than that, I just want to say I'm so happy. I can't wait till she gets her trailer. Talk to you guys later.
who was that man? Who was that guy? Who's that
So
mystery
we
man?
did it, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I was so happy. I'm really so happy, and I know everyone else is too. Scruffy's very grateful, and we want to thank the gentleman that sold that. The timing was perfect. The RV was perfect, and all the things he left for her was awesome. So we are very grateful for the gentleman as well.
Yeah. Did you see his Facebook ad? He wasn't taking nothing less. And that was a really good deal. That was an amazing
one
deal.
heck of a deal.
But like I said, that for a model year lower than that on the lot at 8,500.
Yeah.
All right. And then you get into the newer models and they want like, $40,000 for something. But that's how you do it. It's that easy. It's that simple. Everybody come together. And that was with the help of about 100 to 150 people.
95?
Roughly. Yeah.
To see what we accomplished, it's a great feeling. Made us all feel so good. And I'm just very happy.
So 100, 150 people. That's all it takes. We got 300 million people in this country.
Right?
If we could just...
Cheating said the newer models are junk. Yeah, the older ones, they made it better than the newer ones.
Yeah, 40,000. And then most of them, you got to take them back because they got something wrong with them.
Yep.
But so you can get a house, you get a home for somebody, $4,000 or $5,000.
Oh yeah.
In that price range, and still get a really nice RV.
We stay in RV and we love it. That's where we live.
Kind of like camping every day.
Yeah, and it's easy to maintain. We love it.
So here's the Facebook. I already got it open. Here we go. I think here's the pics. It's a lot more different of a side view here. 2-door. This is the kitchen area, so I see the water heater right out.
Yeah, that's with the slide out.
Yeah, right here.
Now we'll give it. It's going to be a lot wider in there. I love it.
It's got good tires on it, ready to rock and roll in case she needs to be evacuated or anything like that. She can disconnect and somebody can pick her up and take her right wherever she needs to safety, and then she can come back when everything's good and clear.
That's right. That's what I love about that. You can always move them.
Right, because you got, hurricane season and stuff like that, especially in Florida. Yep. Where's the picture? Right. Side. Here it is again. This can all be pulled up. That's what they wanted, or something put over it. Really nice. Just like you picked it up.
Yep.
Oh, more lighting. That's it. The table comes up right here. Storage under these chairs. This also sleeps someone if needed to. I wonder if this is a fold-out bed. Pretty crazy. All right.
So, this is awesome.
Yep. Here, let me move the screen here. So that's the update on Scruffy. Trailer be there by next weekend.
Yes. And I'm sure Glenda will update us on that when she gets there as well. So we love you, Scruffy. So glad that we all came together and we got this thing done. And we get you in some place secure and safe and AC. It even has heater in there. Most RVs don't have heat. So you have to add the element. So that's nice.
So the next update we'll do the videos once they get it there and stuff like that, get everything set up, and then we'll do a thank you show and then we'll show everybody that helped
And
make it happen.
the couch folds into a bed. Yeah. So does that where the table is, the two benches that turns. You can put the table up and make it into a bed as well. So it's pretty nice.
So again, thank Mickey
Glenda.
for making that happen.
Yes.
Because you have to know the story behind that in order to know how we got here. So if it wasn't Mickey's perseverance and looking out for somebody she's seen in the chat that needed help, then
That's right.
we probably wouldn't be here today doing this. So we want to thank God, the Creator, for all glory be to Him. So that's where we're at the end of the day. Somebody's been helped, and we all did it together.
Yes.
Whether you witnessed it or whatever, we all did it together. So, so thank Mickey, thank Glenda, thank her husband for taking the time out and being the driver. I mean, that's the most important part of it is the driver.
Right. And Mike started it off, right?
Yeah.
And then he got sick, unfortunately, and we picked it up from there, and we got it. We went to the finish line. So thank you, everybody. We love y'all so much and appreciate it.
Give me 1 second. Let me. Alrighty. So, there's a lot taking place. Please don't lose faith in each other, or faith in humanity and each other. throughout the process. I know the media and then everyone focuses on the negative a lot, but you got to keep it balanced, right? So we got to balance it out as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, right? Let's see. So I've got a few things I want to share today. How crazy this movie is. Why is it a movie? Because it's a big stage. There's actors everywhere, right? But here's one of those examples. And this is why you should have discernment when you're watching. It takes it a little bit to load here. Here we go. All right, hold on. And here we go. Let me play the clip and then we'll talk about it. The actors.
Where were you when
George Floyd crisis actors and the 9/11 conspiracy. Where were you when you found out George Floyd teacher was the same actor used in multiple school shooting false flags? This crisis actors.
you found out George Floyd's teacher was the same crisis acting woman being used on the news for all these multiple mass shootings? You can clearly see these are the same people with the same noses.
My son is Christopher Weinanen.
Yes, I can. Here's his drawing.
And tell us about this. What is this drawing and what was your assignment?
Her name was. Did y'all see that? This is how they mock you, right?
What is this?
Her name was Waynell Sexton. Watch what it says.
Here's his drawing.
And tell us about this. What
Anal sex, right?
Yeah.
In your face.
Wow.
This how they mock you?
Yep.
She's got. She saved George Floyd's drawing from when he was in kindergarten or some shit.
Right.
Like, come on, guys.
what is this drawing and what was your
Oh, did I add it? The screen? Why didn't you tell me? Sorry, guys. My wife was looking at the screen and didn't see it up there herself until you said something.
I was reading the comments.
She read it in the comments. Sorry, here we go. Let's do this. I keep doing that. That's why I got this TV on.
Well, I know. I just.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. That must be weird. I'm talking about a video and then I bring up anal sex and. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Cool your jets.
It's in the video.
It's in the video. So George, is it on there? Yeah.
Yeah, now it is.
George Floyd crisis actors in the 9/11 conspiracy. Where were you when you found out George Floyd's teacher was the same actor used in multiple school shooting false flags? I remember this one. This was kind of like, she was like screaming, "Take the AR-15s."
They usually.
It was at a shooting in Florida.
Yes.
Haven't heard any.
Where were you when you found out George Floyd's teacher was the same crisis acting woman being used on the news for all these multiple mass shootings? You can clearly see these are the same people with the same noses.
My son is Christopher Weinanen.
Yes, I can.
Right here, see her name is Waynell Sexton. And if you take the W and the TON out, you get the mockery.
Here's his drawing.
It's spiritual warfare, folks, in your face.
tell us about this. What is this drawing and what was your assignment?
Well, one of my favorite memories of hearing involves his report for Black History.
Keep in mind, that's a made-up name
Oh, yeah.
for the actor.
Right.
So that whoever made up the name was mocking whoever the hell was reading it. if they.
So it turns out the same woman playing George Floyd's teacher was also a first responder on 9/11 and has lost multiple children in numerous school shootings. This is why you can't trust the news.
I just wanted to say that this is a club that nobody wants to be in. And please, could we do something with the assault weapons?
Prayers. I don't want thoughts. I want gun control, and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers. I want gun control.
The first plane hitting the World Trade Center happened.
You see how she said she don't want anyone sending her any more prayers because
She wants gun control.
She just wants gun control, and that's why they're doing this whole stuff. It's all about taking your rights away via putting you in fear of some mass killer running around with AR-15s wanting to shoot up schools.
And they don't say always wear sunglasses.
Right.
Else sends me any more prayers. I want gun control.
The first,
Because people would always say, well, thoughts and prayers, right? And then it would just drive them crazy. Because they were like, we need gun control, screw prayers. So here we are, World Trade Center, 8:46.
first plane hitting the World Trade Center happened at 8:46 a.m. on September 11th. Also, George Floyd was held down for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. What are the chances of that? Is it just a conspiracy? You be the judge.
Also, when he was on the ground, this guy right here has hair.
Yeah.
This person in this video, this picture right here has hair. The one on the ground, he had no hair.
Right. Well,
So these are the psyops, psychological operations, trauma-based mind control, try to agitate people,
get you all in your emotions.
pass acts or laws or things like that. The George Floyd this, George Floyd that act, whatever.
So we green light something.
So you green light shit
That-
based off of a
to
psyop.
our own detriment.
Right. Based off of a orchestrated.
So crisis, yeah, you know it is because they have it all lined up with their numbers. They know numbers have power, right? So
Haven't heard any.
Where were you when you found out?
Yeah. I'm just looking to see what. I'm scared to open half the stuff I look up live on the show. I don't want to red pill somebody too hard. Red and blue. You gotta take both pills. That's the trick. Don't tell nobody I told you. Oh, that's okay.
not that one.
This one is about the bar. Never cross the bar. Living, do not mix with the dead. Template included. So do not cross the bar ever. Oil and water. Two jurisdictions that cannot mix. This is the key. What is the bar? And so on and so on. But I'll share this. Now I might even go over it, but let me finish opening. What is this? Let me get a few of these things open. Oh, Trump signs an executive order to make it easier to remove homeless people from the streets. I don't believe that's Christ-like, so I'm calling it out.
No.
That has not. So now we're dealing with. If that's not Christ-like, then that's almost like anti-Christ-like. The system itself is the antichrist.
That's right. I think we should start. We need some humanitarian projects right now. We need to get these people on some land with some resources, some maybe tiny homes, something put these people in. They don't like to go to those shelters. First of all, because most of those shelters, they can't take pets. Most of them have pets as their companion. That's what keeps them going. and they won't let them in, take their pets in there. And they said it's kind of like being in jail, right? So I think there's alternative things that need to happen. And the homeless people that have recovered are the best ones to get homeless people. They know how they relate. They can relate with them. They know what it was like to be homeless. What it was like. Many of them were on had addictions, and they know how to talk to these people. You can't just throw them in something and have people that have like therapists and stuff that have never gone through anything like that. You have to go through something like that to be able to relate to somebody like that. And they have trust issues. So people that have been homeless or have been addict, they understand that, and they can relate with these people. That's what they need. They need love, compassion, and understanding. Someone that understands their situation.
If somebody's sitting there on the ground, they got a cart with all their belongings in it, then
that's all they have.
Then as a community, there should be something in place that you can treat everybody humanely, because it's embarrassing to even be in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
First off, it really does demoralize. It does all kinds of things to you. Some people get on drugs and alcohol because of it.
That's right.
And
most of them aren't out there because they want to. They ended up in a situation that way. Something happened in their life. They might have lost their job or got kicked out of somewhere. Or, everyone has their story. But you can't judge them on that because they don't even want to be out there themselves. But that was their alternative, right? So we got to deal with them like a human being.
Treat them, because they are human beings.
That's what I mean. They don't
look
at them.
I know.
The government doesn't look at them like
so
that. They're just a nuisance.
So if your economy is so awesome, then why are you signing executive orders to remove homeless people?
Right. That's our job as people, as humans that have love for each other and compassion. We can do this. There's so many people that want to help other people. So these are things that should be left to the people.
But it's not until the people's hearts have changed that we can actually make something happen. But we could do it in increments like we're doing, like we just showed at the beginning of the show.
Right.
But right here we have Trump signs an executive order to make it easier to remove homeless people from the streets.
And right now they're jailing them as well. They don't need to be thrown in jail. They don't even have any money to pay for anything, so they throw them in jail.
They come out in a worse situation.
And they make money off of them being in jail.
That's why it's a win-win for them. But right. Here we go.
Mickey Moo said, and these abandoned apartment buildings and warehouses could be put to good use. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They said there's millions of homes up for sale or abandoned in America. And there's a little under about 1 million so people that are homeless. So we have a greed issue with the bankers or somebody. There's plenty of housing. It's just they can't afford it. It's skyrocketed. The
right.
Bankers and the people that are playing monopoly with these houses are going up to $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and the pay stays the same. When the pay stays the same, you miss work. Something happens, you're out of there. This could be anybody.
Yeah, everyone's
I've seen people that I've seen a guy had $1 million home ended up homeless in LA and was talking about running for mayor.
Oh, yeah.
But he had boats, he had a mansion, he had all that. He lost it all. He lost a lot of money in some kind of a deal that was made. I think it was under Obama.
Enron, right?
Yeah, or Enron or something like that, right?
Yeah. And then the housing market crash, and he lost it all. He was out there in a tent with the rest of them, but he had it all organized. He took charge. He was like the leader there, and he got it, had them clean up after each other. And it was like a little community, and it was pretty heartbreaking.
You can check that interview out on a YouTube channel called The Invisible People. And you'll see the guy. He's a Filipino-looking guy with glasses, and you read the title. It was about a year ago or so.
Yeah, Renee said house them in Trump Tower at Mar.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of beds
Right?
there.
Yes. I mean,
But see, that's the difference between them and us.
exactly. Like Tupac said, right? There's so many. Why would someone have a mansion with 20-something bedrooms for just a couple people, right? That's crazy.
10 cars and a boat, yacht.
When there's so many
And
people
then-
that are in need.
And when you look around their towers and you look around their mansions, they're gated. And just up the road will be a homeless person. And it's usually elderly. Our elderly homeless average has risen.
Yeah, because the rent has gone up so high that there was several channels. I forget what it is. There's one guy in Arizona that covers them, and that's what they were all saying, that they were on Social Security. Rent went up so high they couldn't afford anything, so they were out living on the streets. It's terrible.
So they want to turn them over to the mental health or the addiction treatment facilities, right? When all they need is a hand up, not a handout.
That's right. Hand up.
Be put in the right position. And let me see if this plays.
They need a sense of belonging, a community. I think a community would be
President
great.
Trump wants to change how the U.S. manages homelessness. A new executive order aims to make it easier to move people off the street and into treatment for mental illness or addiction. It also calls for a major shift in how federal money to address homelessness is spent. NPR's Jennifer Ludden is here to explain more about this. Good morning, Jennifer.
Right now, 80% of the money that they get to these nonprofits to help with homeless, it goes to just paying the people there to work there.
Right.
And only about 20 to 10% of what's left goes to the homeless.
Right.
So they're taking this money and they're just made a career out of this, and
Right.
nobody's getting any help. There's CEOs and stuff that get $1 million paychecks, stuff like that. They're making money off people. Somebody's making a killing off of helping homeless, but they're not helping the homeless. That's what's been taking place all
Right.
these years.
And
The money's been there. It's just a lot of corruption.
Limited room. First of all, there's sometimes a year to 2 year waiting list, and that's just unacceptable. When all that money, they get billions of dollars. You could buy some land and get some tiny home set up for billions of dollars, right? And have some kind of project
Billions
going
of
where,
dollars, you can make
like
a whole new communities.
a garden, and get
With
where
house.
they're proactive, and I don't know, you could do a lot with $1 billion, and they get billions for these things, and no one gets really served.
And on top of getting billions, their answer is to put them in a mental health institute, a jail cell, or an addiction treatment facility. And then the state turns around and makes more money.
Right.
And the person gets out, there's nothing there.
And when they're in a mental facility, they also give them alternative drugs, like that are just as addicting. So there's natural ways to cure this. Plus, love and compassion goes a long way.
Good morning. I think people may remember that the president has complained for years about people living on the streets. What does this order say about clearing out homeless encampments?
Yes, he has, as you said, during the campaign, the presidential campaign, he talked about it. There was a video that made the rounds where he said encampments have turned, quote, once great cities into unlivable nightmares. And this executive order starts out along those lines. It says endemic vagrancy has made cities unsafe, and that getting people into long-term treatment can restore public order. Now, that is something conservatives have been lobbying for years, and that includes Devin Kurtz. He's with the Cicero Institute, a conservative think tank, and he says,
See how it says they've been lobbying for years, but when they want a bill passed to send weapons somewhere, it's done like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's done like that. The
Because
anti-Semitic
that's
bill's
not
done
a
like that.
priority. That's not a priority.
You can change the name of a freaking Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America like that. You can take high fructose corn syrup out of Coca-Cola like that.
Oh yeah.
You can make egg prices drop or raise like that, but it takes years.
All the major issues.
It takes years of lobbying for these people to get it together because they're not human.
Exactly. They've
they're
lost.
not
They're
human.
detached from the people, so they don't
serve
even
Satan.
think the same.
They don't serve Christ. They're the Antichrist.
They serve self.
Here we go.
Policy has just made it too easy to leave people alone on the street. He says this new order would give cities a way to force those who really need care into hospitals or other treatment, even if they resist.
Either because of the long-standing lack of medication or certain disorders that make them unable to help themselves. This is really that crucial safety net at the bottom to make sure that they don't continue to fall through the cracks and die on the street.
And the executive order says this would be for those who pose a risk to themselves or others. And it calls on the U.S. Attorney General to somehow, it's not clear how, try to reverse legal precedents that have made it harder to commit people against their will.
It sounds like this would be a process. It doesn't sound like something that could or would happen overnight. So what do people who work in this area think about this?
Well, they say it's basically treating homelessness and mental illness as a crime, and it would just make the problem worse. They say it would violate civil.
It's a crime to be homeless, but you can cover up major crimes in this U.S. corporate business they call the United States. You can cover all that shit up. Nobody goes to jail for anything that they've done, even though we've known, even with evidence of everything.
Right.
Nothing happens, but yet if you end up homeless in America, your ass is going to jail.
And like Becky said, not all homeless are on drugs. That's right. Not all are. And some that are, or some are do alcohol. But can you blame them really in that kind of situation? You don't know what they've gone through, and they want to numb themselves, right? So it's sad, but yeah, you're right. Not all of them are on drugs.
Never, because it says you never know when you're entertaining angels, right?
That's right.
Well, so here's the lesson. Here's the test. What do we do about this? This could be Jesus Christ himself sitting right here.
That's right.
This could be God sitting here, right?
Right.
And
what
if this is
done for the least of these,
and
right?
yes, and if this is a holographic reality, and everything is nothing is coincidence, and you see that's. You want to talk about the greatness of a nation or a country, then it depends on how you treat the homeless, how you treat the elderly, and how you treat these women and children.
Widows.
And right now, and the widows. And right now, it's not looking too good. So we have to find that light within each other to change in our hearts first, so that we could take some action, and with love and compassion towards the homeless, as to being Christ-like, right?
Right, and we can't look at them because they might make your property value go down because someone wants to put a homeless something somewhere near. That kind of thing is where our heart needs to be changed. This is what the churches should have been doing this whole time. That's what they were supposed to be doing, but they didn't. They don't.
Second. So basically, their answer for the homeless isn't biblical at all, and how they treat or how they want to handle it. This is what they've been doing. They've been doing organ harvesting homeless people as well. I thought I shared an article. Let's see if I got it. No. All right. Anyways, if you want to look up the attributes of being Christ-like, it doesn't line up with their plan at all. Here we go. Open up. All right. So that's what we got going on with the homeless right now. It's illegal to be homeless, but you can get away with all kinds of other crimes against humanity all day long. and nobody gets held accountable. It's back and forth. It's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, and nobody's ready to hold anyone accountable. They're not going to do it.
No, we have to hold them accountable. It's our job to hold them accountable. It's our job to look after each other, right? It's our job to help the homeless. It's our job to come together and make things happen. And you'll be surprised when you start something to make something happen, you saw with just Scruffy how things happened, right? People come together and they will make things happen. We can move, we can do the impossible. And think about if there was a huge group, what we could all do.
What's even weirder is you got this group of bots or Republicans or whatever, but they're already looking towards 2028, and this isn't MAGA though. This is opposite of MAGA. So MAGA's got 3.5 years to figure something out, or we're going to Little Rubio and JD Trance.
I don't think it will be
No,
that far.
holy shit. Excuse my language. So the Agenda 2030 is still in full swing, and people need to be made aware of it. You need to be looking out for your family members, your loved ones, your children, your grandparents, et cetera, your neighbors, because they're still checking off boxes. They're still Agenda 2030 is still in full swing, still full. Nobody's stopping it. Nothing can stop what is coming. But people need to be made aware. And like Health Ranger said, he says most of the people on this platform literally have no idea what's coming. He goes, I will do my best to explain, but many refuse to hear.
Right.
As a result, many will likely no longer be with us by the year 2030.
Right.
Because bullets are still in the gun. They're still playing Russian roulette with people. Like they said, they would much rather try to take us out before they take responsibility for anything. And here we go.
That's why we got to save as many people by lifting each other up, right? It's a spiritual thing as well. It is spiritual. You've got to have a strong spirit, and helping each other and helping others keeps your spirit strong, and you see results of something and it makes you feel good. And that's what we need. We need to keep the positive by what we can do for each other and help each other.
Don't focus on that shit show, the actors,
because they're trying to, it's distracting you from us coming together and accomplishing things. They want us to give it to them to fix. We're not doing that no more. We're going to fix it.
distracting. Mark Levin would never do that, right? He's sitting here talking about, he's curious at how many of you think Major League Baseball players are underpaid and tickets are too cheap. This is today.
Yeah.
You see the distraction.
Yeah.
You see what you got baseball season coming to an end.
It's
and
the
then
Wizard of Oz, the magic show.
You got the NFL fixing to kick off. That's why they're kicking everything down the road and moving the goalpost. They got football season coming up. That's a good distraction right there until after the Super Bowl. And then they got to come up with something else, right?
So if you're relying on that, anything from them to work in the favor of we the people, it's not going to happen. So you'll just be disappointed and disappointed and disappointed. So we got to focus on helping each other, and God will move through us. He moves through us every day. But we got to be proactive.
Here's a picture of them inventorying the Fort Knox.
Yeah, that never happened.
The gold is not there. It's within. But that's too small of a building to be holding the gold that you wouldn't you have to have something way bigger? That's like.
I think it goes underground.
Oh, does it? Whatever happened to Fort Knox?
Yeah, they were supposed to do an audit and never happened. There was a list, went through a list. I think I sent it to you, but the Fort Knox supposedly holds the original Constitution. It also held like millions of vials of morphine. They said during World War II, which is kind of weird. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that's in there.
And here we go. This is a little clip that I got from X 14th Amendment.
Someone says, so you saying the corporation is still running, even if it really is or not, the whole movement has to be by we the people. We
Right.
take it back and we make it a republic. They're not going to give us a republic. We have to make it a republic.
Through what? Knowledge, educating each other.
Right.
That's it.
That's how we
That's the
win.
power. If you don't know who you are, then you don't know how to operate. You don't know how to operate, then you're probably still kind of asleep and coming out of your days, and it's not your time fully to wake up to it, but you will. And the brain you may not get it at first what we're talking about, but at some point it'll hit you in your soul.
So as you can see, the federal is still very much involved. It's supposed to be in the states, and everything's supposed to be by the people, and that we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, the people are still waiting on
the federal.
Right, they're looking at the federal to come into their state and take over and never they lose all freedoms. That's okay. Just give them all full control to get these damn terrorists out of here. These people that are
Right. The federal government was supposed to be very limited and directed by, everything's supposed to be directed by we the people. If we don't want it, then we tell them we don't want it.
at some point there's got to be a line where you say, hey, I'm not crossing that line. Anybody cross this line and it's going to be over. You got to have a line, or you got to stand for something, or you're just going to keep falling for everything. I mean, some people think it's an oasis that they're walking towards, and it may be for them, but when you think about how they got us by the balls, you better take back control of your medical and your food.
Right. Some people don't even realize what we're in, that we lost the republic a long time ago. They don't even realize that. But a lot more people are waking up with the overreach, the tyranny, we saw during COVID, but that didn't quite do it, obviously. So we continue on until we establish the republic back.
Yeah, man, it feels good to know that we're at that point, and these are the ultimatums, because people that are comfortable are fixing to be uncomfortable, and once they feel uncomfortable, then they'll start making the changes that they need, because it's not until you feel uncomfortable that somebody will actually do something to change the uncomfort.
Right.
So you have to go through the pain in order to get the. Hold on.
See, the government has no plans to return your freedom. How long will it take for you to realize that? Right? How much more crap do we have to go through needlessly? So,
yeah. All right, here we go. Know your status. You want to be in the book of life or the book of death? All caps.
What is step one? Well, step one is actually going to look different for everyone because the true first step is just being aware that there is fraud and treason against us. The first step is to be aware that as a U.S. citizen, you're a 14th Amendment slave whose parents signed your birth certificate as an informant and gifted your title and equity to the state. The first step is to know that you were bonded and insured and incorporated. And really, the first step is to know that the people that did all of that is also responsible for the child trafficking, missing children, abductions by CPS, and all of the other corruption that they use to harm us and our God-given children. Because then once you know that you have to stand up and you know that you can't be a slave anymore. Then you can take the next step of doing something about it. So the first step of doing something about it is to not let the incorporated government be your mommy and daddy. You have to use your God-given brain and self-determine your status. The reason why this movement gets a lot of funky terms, like sovereign citizen, is because people will try to stand and fight for their rights, which is really, really great, but they don't have their status to back them up to do it. So then when they get taken to court, mommy and daddy government say, I'm in charge here, and you're my slave, and they violate you. And so having the paperwork to back you up, having your status to back you up, helps you stand stronger to fight your fight and actually win. Because if you go into court as a U.S. citizen, the Bible and the Constitution don't apply to you. And mommy and daddy government will take advantage of that. Sovereign citizens are people who try to stand up as kings, but are still slaves to the government because they're still U.S. citizens. You have to have your standing and your status. They go together, which is why it's very important to get your AOR sent out. Look, 24 pages of the fraud that they've committed against us in an affidavit of truth. All is reasons as to why you're repudiating your citizenship. There is absolutely no way for them to go point by point of everything in the affidavit and prove that they didn't do it, because they did commit those frauds against us. The Secretary of State is the only one that it's required to be sent to, and there are other people that you can send it to put them on notice, but you have to make sure it gets to the Secretary of State. You're going to send it registered mail, and you embed that registered mail number into the document, and then it goes unrebutted. We have full instructions on our website from start to finish. And yes, your children can do it too. So be the change you want to see. State Nationals rock. What is step one? Well, step one is actually going to look different for everyone because the truth.
There we go.
So, yeah, like she said, don't wait on them. They're not going to ever give it to us. They're actually, it's like
they're doing everything they can to take
challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's a challenge against us. Are we, the body of Christ, going to rise?
They're playing 5D chess and we're playing checkers.
Right.
Every 4 years, or midterms and that stupid shit.
We have the power. We have the light. We have the compassion for each other. And we're tired of them taking all our money and nothing, and things just get worse and worse and worse. We're not going to do it no more.
I'm going to read this. It's kind of long. Got a few things I want to read here. What needs to happen is you got to wait until the people that's stage one. So every new day starts when everything is still dark. Everyone is asleep. All the lights are out. Not a sound is to be heard. But those who have been called to awaken others sense something, an urging, a vibration. They hear a distant sound. They see a glowing horizon. while everyone else is fast asleep. These visionaries, the seers, the dreamers, the world changers, they don't focus on the darkness of the night. They don't spend their life telling everyone how dark it is. They will expose wrong aspects of the night to the degree that is required, but they won't idolize or worship the darkness. They expose it for what it is, so people would understand that their current situation is not all there is. There is also light. There is hope. There is life. There is healing. There is a future. And that's where the heart of the true world changers is set on. They see the subtle glow at the distant horizon. And their inner being is stirred. They sense a resonance inside as well. What they see in the distance is connected to what they feel inside. A new day is dawning. A new light is starting to shine. This night is not forever. The cold is not lasting. The warmth will come again. Birds will sing once more. Everything will lift up its head and start to glow, bloom, and bear fruit. So that's focusing on nature, right? And instead of focusing on what they want to have you, the picture they want to paint, be it the mainstream media, it's bad news. So no longer will the Satanists conquer this world. No longer will the evil ones reign over all of creation. The end has already been determined. Not an end where Christ appears on the clouds to transform everything in the blink of an eye, as the wicked have told the church. This concept has shut down the church to be a powerless, inactive, sleeping bride, not able to rise because they are told to wait for Christ. Christ said very clearly, I have made my abode with you. You are my temple. You are my dwelling place. You are my home. I live inside of you. You are my vessel. You are even my very own body. Christ is not there somewhere or far, far away. He is here, as close as can be, in the hearts and lives of all who welcome him, who see him, and who accept his love for humanity. His blood was poured out to save this world from the grip of Satan. We are not waiting for Christ to return. How can you be waiting for him who is inside of you, who never leaves you, who walks where you walk, who speaks when you speak, and who touches when you reach out, and who is your all in all? He is always here with us, inside of us, and he wants to work through us to shine his light, to bring his deliverance, to release his voice, to establish his reign. Don't wait for Christ to return, but discover how Christ is here with you, always, everywhere, every second, every day. You can't even breathe without him. He is the life source of all creation. The new day is dawning, not a day where humanity will suffer and be torn down, a day where the deeply beloved children of the Most High will sing again and will rebuild what was broken and will heal what is sick and will embrace the lonely and will purify what is poisoned and will lift up what is thrown down. The earth is not created to be destroyed, but it is destined to be glorified and renewed and restored to become a divine dwelling place. It is as it has always been destined to be. Like they said, some people call this hell, but it's your perception. It's heaven. You can make heaven on earth.
That's right.
So do not fear the future. Do not shy back from what lies ahead. The dragon has been defeated. Darkness is being cast out. Rise to your glorious destiny, child of the eternal Most High. Lift up your gaze to the light of the coming transformation. You were born to be a light in this world and play a role in its deliverance. Don't hold back. Allow Jesus Christ to shine his light of greatness, of great deliverance in your heart and mind, and spread it everywhere. If you have an ear to hear, you can hear the angels sing songs of deliverance and shouts of joy. Open up and arise to the new light. David Sorensen wrote that. So I don't know if we did the Bible talking about the firmament, but here in the 1815 Bible, it talks in Genesis, it talks about, this is Grandma's old Bible from 1815. It confirms the existence of the firmament, right?
Yes.
Waters above, waters below. And she's going to open the Bible up and read it verbatim. I thought it was interesting, so I want to share it. Especially the older Bibles.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you like to read the older?
Yes.
The older to the better. And it shows you how they've changed things over time to fit the narrative. That's the age of deception, right? And they copyrighted this stuff, right?
Right. And a lot of that was changed during the Council of Nicaea to fit their agenda. So look into the Council of Nicaea. And there was some even before that, but yeah, they didn't want you to know the true teachings. But Jesus was trying to teach you how powerful you are and what you were capable of.
So I have my grandma's Bible, printed and published by M. Carey, Philadelphia, 1815. Okay, so we're in Genesis, and pay attention to the word water, okay, or waters. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. So if you go back, okay, in the beginning, and the earth was without form, okay, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So water was already there, right? Okay. I just find this very interesting because modern Bibles describe this.
So the Spirit of God moves. Spirit is the ether. Moves upon so that's the ripples, the waves that you see even in the water is the truth.
Differently.
Yeah, so there we go.
Because water holds memory. That's where your Akashic records are, is in the water realm.
So I have my grave in the earth, and the earth was.
So, a few tornadoes today. Crazy weather. I don't know if anybody's watching the radars and how everything's popping off. We've seen some pretty big tornadoes today. Was it North Dakota or South Dakota? Right up in here.
Yeah, they were huge. It was mostly out in fields, right? But they were monstrous.
But we can see how they all pop off at the same time. Here, down here, all at the same time. They just develop. Let's go to 200 frames. So be weather aware. Some of these tornado warnings were canceled right in the middle while a tornado was touching down. But here we see it. Well, this down here started it. This coming around, boom, right there, this wave.
They timed out the warning right when it was coming. So the warning didn't get to the people. So everyone was tuning into the independent news people like Max Velocity, right? Isn't he one of them? It was keeping them updated. But yeah, they're not really keeping the people informed anymore.
So these are just popping off. You see them? They're just getting stronger. Right here, look at this wave. See it coming down like water? See it? Look at it. See the ripples? Oh, they were spraying out on the east coast of Florida out here, but it was just like you see right here, it was coming inwards over land over Florida. So even if they pass a law saying they can't spray it in Florida, they can still spray out in the ocean and let the wind take it in. You still see the lines right here coming in inwards right here. Down here was yesterday, it was a bunch of chemtrails coming in to southern Florida. Again, this is a crazy looking ripple. Look at all this, what it's picking up. The radars are picking up all this. Now here we go. See this right here? Look at that. It's a ripple, like it's like something came in and landed on the water, a lake, from this direction, and it just. But crazy storms kicking off. Wizard of Oz. This one? What? Native Texan said, shit, I just woke up from a nightmare that the military forced a bioweapon on all its members, and with doing that, set up a domino effect of years of sickness and death. I dreamt that 0 people were held accountable, and the military kept gaslighting its members and that spoke up until they all went crazy. Glad it was just a nightmare, because I know in my heart that my beloved Marine Corps would never take part in that, would they? All right. That's what we went through. That's where we're at with the veterans. They're not too happy.
Nope.
So we got this short.
Oh yeah, this is about astral. The next one is good.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm letting it load. All right. Here's the Book of Wisdom.
This is about the astral plane, yeah, and astral projection.
The Book of Wisdom.
The astral plane. The astral plane exists parallel to the physical plane, encompassing both a divine solar level and a lower lunar level. The divine level serves as a blueprint for all things, while the lower level is the initial realm the soul enters after death. The astral plane is formed from mental energy. Again, the astral plane is formed from mental energy, where thoughts take shape as tangible entities. This is why the phrase thoughts are things holds profound significance. The more mental energy a thought receives, the stronger it manifests within the astral plane. Now, if you want to know how you're going to astral project, here we go right here. The astral plane is the fourth dimension, the unseen realm beyond physical perception. It is where thought forms exist, mental images that take on a life of their own. This dimension can only be perceived through the mind's eye, third eye, and is shaped by the consciousness of those who enter it. The key aspects of the astral plane: your frequency determines what you experience. Everything you think will manifest instantly in the astral realm. Your astral vision may be unclear at first. Practice is required to sharpen perception. Dreaming is a natural form of astral projection, where the soul leaves the physical body to experience another reality. Go get this book, The Book of Wisdom, Volume 1.
The Book of Wisdom.
The astral plane. The astral plane exists parallel to the physical plane, encompassing both a divine solar level.
I don't know if it played it all because it didn't. It kind of, but you still heard it. So, yeah. Let me close some of this stuff now. The computer's starting to get a little. Here we go. Close some of this out. What was that? We did that. The news is fake. Crisis actors everywhere. Can't believe shit you see. Okay. What am I doing?
Next thing on our show.
Oh, I passed it. Here we go. This is short.
Yeah. And there's a whole thing from Mine and Bell. It's pretty good too. It's only like 27 minutes long.
A classified CIA document reveals the secrets to isn't physical at all, that it's an internal hologram, a construct of your own mind. And so this astral projection method called the gateway process, it's like hacking into this internal hologram. And they call it clicking out. Clicking out of what exactly? Well, clicking out of consciousness, out of your perception of time and space. How do you do it? By adjusting the frequency of brainwaves.
Okay, you heard that? He's talking about time, and he's trying to figure out how to do this by adjusting the frequency, emitting. You spell time in reverse, and you emit EMIT, the right frequency,
And you can
brainwaves.
Yes, just like the people do with the DMT, you can do that naturally and go into different astral planes. You know, so astral project. They, like we were talking about last night, the gate program, the Stargates. That's what the CIAs use. These people, they taught them how to tap into their already. We all have that ability, just we don't know how to tap into it. That was lost a long time ago when they dumbed us down, put us in religion and in boxes and labels, and told us who we were instead of what we really are. Yeah, stolen identity, right?
Consciousness, out of your perception of time and space. How do you do it? By adjusting the frequency of brainwaves. See, brainwaves, just like radio waves, vibrate at different frequencies. And the document states that when you achieve a specific frequency in the quantum range, that you can click out of space and time. And not just astral project, but also enter other dimensions and encounter beings of energy. But one of the pages from this document is actually missing because it contains shocking information about God. Want to know what was on it? Check out my YouTube channel for more. A classified.
There you go. see. It's talking about the mind. You want to do that one?
Yeah, no, I'll show you.
All right, hold on one second. Show you.
Not that one, but not that one. That one.
Now this is more on astral plane explained. Play just a few minutes of this.
In order for the personality to exist. Of course, the know-it-all will always laugh at these experiences because, without a shadow of a doubt, there's no way that it can be possible. When you grow up, whether you realize it or not, you begin to develop a cosmology of the world you live in. This is what makes some of us afraid of the idea of ghosts. It's so scary because it breaks all the rules of reality that makes us feel safe. The walls must be constructed in order for the personality to exist. Of course, the know-it-all will always laugh at these experiences because, without a shadow of a doubt, there's no way that it can be possible. So does that mean it's not possible? Or is it just a matter of cosmology? The issue is that the agnostics are not aware that they have developed a subconscious viewpoint of reality that then leads to the suppression of occult faculties. This video will break down a viewpoint of man that has been passed down through the esoteric orders that belongs to an ancient tradition. This knowledge was hidden for two main reasons: for power, and to halt the psychic shifts in man that ultimately lead to cataclysm. The modern scientific viewpoint of man is that he is an evolutionary process that developed through random chance, that he came from monkeys, and that he is a physical being of matter or atoms, that Earth was developed through rocks colliding into one another, and then somehow water came to form on this rock, and then intelligent life begins to randomly develop. When talking about these subjects, you'll run into a lot of different people who'll say, why does it matter? Who cares about our cosmology? The answer is because it limits how you view yourself, which then limits your personal power. Most who belong to the cosmology of the modern day use the word I in every other sentence. I did this, or I see what you're saying. What is I? I is but a point of consciousness. You are singling out your consciousness to an ego. The esoteric order didn't necessarily see man in the same way, but we'll get to that. Many modern occultists still belong to the globe model, and it really doesn't make that much sense when you think about it. Why would ancient beliefs about how man's mind being intimately integrated with reality have any place on a globe Earth sci-fi cosmology? Look, I'm not Christian, but magic only works in a God-created universe, and I can explain that quite logically. That means all psychic phenomena, but one step at a time. If you're new to this, or if you're one of these know-it-all agnostics that thinks this stuff is just new age BS, then let's just take a sec to cover something we're all familiar with. Dreams. It's pretty simple. Let's just treat it like you're a beginner, okay? You just walked in on a book, but this book speaks to you. It's a lesson about the astral plane. But it's not just about what it is or how to visit, its inhabitants or its phenomena, but it's also a theory or a viewpoint of reality, a cosmology. That man is but a micro of the macro, as above, so below. Now, I think we can all relate to dreams. We have all at least had a dream, some more than others. Some people, as they get older, start to lose the ability to dream. Science has yet to accurately explain what dreams are. You can think that it's just chemicals going off in the brain, but the truth is that there's different levels of dreams. Like I said, most people begin to lose their ability to recall dreams. And it's mostly because their dreams are a reflection of how their consciousness behaves in the material realm. If you are asleep here, then you are asleep there. We will explain more in a moment, but for the most part, there are different scales to dreams. There are blurry dreams, extremely vivid dreams, and then there are dreams with characters that seem to have intelligence, sometimes not once experienced. So we must ask ourselves, what cosmology do dreams fit in? A world of randomness and chemical combustion? Or the cosmology of the esoteric orders? If you don't know what I mean by esoteric orders, I mean throughout the last 500 years or so, there has been a revival of ancient knowledge throughout a variety of different mediums. Some may say, oh, well, this was by design or some type of trap, but I would argue that the truth is, consciousness is consciousness. One can experience this truth for oneself by development of the higher faculties. It's interesting, because many who have tried psychedelics have been shot into higher dimensions of the astral, especially DMT. I'd like to see Joe Rogan explain how psychedelics work on an isolated globe Earth, random combustion, physical evolution cosmology. The shamans know that these are great spirits that cause these visions, and the spirits belong to this esoteric cosmology that this video is about to unveil. This argument isn't new either, it's the argument for duality. Does man have a soul, or is he just a material physical body? This is a huge philosophical argument, and so is the idea that consciousness and reality require each other. If a tree falls and no one is there to hear it, did it make a sound? In the esoteric tradition, reality is but a product of what is occurring on the higher realms. That man is a series of different bodies existing on different planes. We all know the physical body which belongs to the physical plane, but there are more planes and more bodies. This video will be useful for the beginning occultist, or for those with constricting belief systems that need a bridge into the mind of a completely different cosmology. The earliest esoteric orders was that of Pythagoras, if he was a real person. But the story goes that he would require silence for years. The neophyte must not even speak, and only then would Pythagoras unveil the deepest secrets. People will train for decades to receive the information that is about to be presented, and that's not to say that this is truth or that you need to praise this information or anything. It's an attempt to show how much we have complicated our minds to the point where it's become almost impossible to understand the knowledge of the ancient mystery schools. The secret, or whatever, is that man is not just one body. He is made up of multiple bodies. But you must remember them, or develop them. You have to send them consciousness, per se. These bodies are layered, where the physical plane is a result of all the higher planes, or a better way to think of it is inner planes. Open any book on magic and what does it teach? How to discipline your mind. Usually through meditation or through altered states of consciousness. As you begin to do this, you become aware of different senses. Some easily have access to the faculty of visualization, but I was surprised to find out when I was younger that not everyone possesses the faculty to the same degree. For example, do you have the ability to recall one's face with great detail? Do you have the ability to recall vivid pictures of objects, or rooms or environments with keen detail? Then you may have the natural gift of clairvoyance, but in most cases, it's just the sense of vision. Each body has what we call senses. Thoughts and emotions belong to these higher bodies. We use these bodies on a day-to-day basis, but only certain aspects of them, and they are mostly subconscious or unconscious and are constricted to certain patterns. Now, agnostics say they don't know, but I don't think that's an honest representation. People are not truly being honest with themselves. Most agnostics belong to the cosmology of randomness. We were all raised with these belief systems in the schools. We are taught that the universe came into existence through randomness, a Big Bang. Then we're taught that the Earth and the Moon are both but random coincidences in a random universe of colliding rocks. Many choose to believe that they have some purpose, yet contradict themselves by believing in the mainstream globe cosmology. Astral projection does not work on a globe Earth NASA cosmology. That's one of the problems that I noticed when you look up astral projection videos on the internet. Either one, they scare you with sleep paralysis, which we'll go over, or two, they talk about spirituality from a globe Earth Big Bang perspective of reality. The astral works based on planes of consciousness. Okay, I would argue that magic and psychic abilities only exist in a realm with a godhead, meaning man, mind, and reality are all integrated into one on the highest levels of existence, meaning that reality is but a conscious creation in the higher realms. These abilities only work in which mind has a superiority to matter, meaning mind came before matter. We say mind over matter all the time in a variety of situations, yet seem to be completely against the actual concept of mind over matter. Aliens, or the idea that beings from other terrestrial planets can fly in spaceships and come to Earth, has only been believed for the past 100 years. It belongs to the cosmology of NASA and the Big Bang. They are not physical beings, but spiritual beings from other realms. Aliens on the globe Earth cosmology doesn't really make sense because most aliens possess psychic abilities or they become spiritual gods at one point in their evolution. None of this can be possible unless reality and consciousness are somewhat integrated with one another. You have to understand, in the Big Bang globe Earth cosmology, consciousness is just a random accident. It happened after matter. Therefore, the art of astral projection belongs to the cosmology of the ancient occultists, which has nothing to do with spinning globes. There are many different systems when it comes to laying out exactly the divisions of the universe, but in the most modern English occult system we have, this is how we would explain it. So we all have heard about astral projection, but what does that even mean? Most of the astral projection info on the internet is either marketed as a way to leave your body and experience lucid dreams, or as a way to experience sleep paralysis or something fearful having to do with demons. Astral projection is the art and skill of projecting one's consciousness in the waking state into the astral plane. Okay, so now we get to the subject of the video, the astral plane. Let's start with the bottom of our reality, the physical realm, which is our day-to-day life. Now in the occult, this is just the physical plane, or the material plane. It has nothing to do with modern-day flat earth society or any other shills who try to lay out this realm as some material existence. The physical plane is a result of the higher planes. In a way, the physical realm is the farthest from the truth as you're not seeing the true hidden attributes that are responsible for the final creation. The physical plane is the grossest, or the densest out of all the other planes. As you go higher in dimension, you begin to become less and less gross. And
we brought up the light the other day, right? It all starts from the white light,
Yes.
ultraviolet white light,
From the Godhead.
right here.
Yes.
And then you have 7 fragments. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all mix.
Forms become more fluid. The next realm after the physical plane is the ether plane. This can be seen as the bridge between the physical and the astral. All objects contain a double, you could say, and you'll have to excuse me as our modern language does not have words for what I'm attempting to describe.
So if everything's vibrating, then there's no such thing as a fact because everything's constantly changing.
Always, yes.
The visuals are here for assistance, but we must remind you to search for double meaning. All objects contain an etheric double, which is basically its energy field. It's also a bond for the astral components to an object. Let's take a human as the obvious example. You have the physical body, then the etheric energy field that then attaches.
And it says there are no unconditioned facts of matter in a universe of motion. There are but appearances of facts.
To the astral body. This etheric energy field is a body as it can be controlled and manipulated through consciousness. It isn't just humans. All objects have an energy field and an astral component containing the memory or history of that object. We can go over that in a bit, but for the most part, I want to emphasize how each plane is somewhat a product of the one before it. That is very important as it goes back to my point on how magic only works with this occult cosmology. Otherwise, without the theory, one cannot properly perform this art to his advantage. Belief and perspective of reality do have an effect on magic. The more open-minded one is, the more results it will experience in these occult arts. The physical plane is a product of the etheric, which then is a product of the astral, which then is a product of the mental planes, which then is a product of the Godhead. You can make physical changes on the physical plane by manipulating the etheric. You can make changes in the etheric realm by manipulating the astral. And by manipulating the higher planes, you have access to manipulating and causing changes on all planes. Let's use a chair for an example. A chair exists in the physical realm as a physical object that you can sit on. Now the astral can be seen as all the possibilities or different types of chairs that could possibly exist. The imagination. Then we have the mental plane of the chair, which is the base archetypal attributes of that object. The blueprint for something to sit on. Then it merges back with the Godhead. Christians resist this information because they believe it has to do with demons or something. That's not necessarily the case. Yes, this power will reveal things hidden, but that doesn't mean a tool or faculty within itself is evil. Are there evil people using it? Undoubtedly. The only reason more good people aren't using it is because they aren't aware that it exists. The astral realm is a fundamental component to the way our reality functions. We as humans deserve the right to explore our own consciousness and to learn and develop these faculties that have been lost in the modern day. The ability of clairvoyance and astral vision are useful skills and should be practiced as an art or an instrument. But no, the fearful interpret this ability as opening a portal to demon communication. There is demon communication happening whether you realize it or not. Negativity itself can be a demon. These psychic abilities simply show what is hidden beyond the material realm. Are we to conclude that the occult is all but fantasies of a madman? Or that the occult is nothing but demon worshippers? The ancients were just fanatics. There was a reason that the mystery schools were developed, and it was to hide special abilities of man. If we realized what we are, then each person would have access to a divine power. That power was in conflict with the ruling church, and so it was controlled. They created the religions as it is practiced today. It was based on true ancient spiritual principles from the mystery schools that then had to be accessed through a certain doorway under specific conditions. Heaven is a specific realm on the astral. Hell is a lower realm in the astral. We go through our lives taking in a variety of different beliefs throughout our lifetime, and the ones we hold on to the most, or the beliefs that we focused on the most, is what gets transferred to the astral. Consider this to be in comparison with dreams, as it is the same realm. As people grow older, if they do not keep these skills in check, they begin to lose the ability to recall their dreams. This can be because the astral is a reflection very similar to that of the physical realm they are currently experiencing. They become a part of the matrix, you could say, as they become asleep and follow similar patterns of consciousness. The lack of curiosity of internal sensations is what leads to a stagnant dream life. A child is one who usually experiences the most fantastical dreams, and it's because their bodies are exploring many different planes of consciousness and creating a variety of different imaginative realities. Now, on each of these planes, there are different divisions. The grossest, or the lowest vibration of the astral plane, is the lower astral. This is where lower vibrational thoughts and negative ideals are created on this level. The ideas of hell or even patterns of the material realm can be reflected onto this lower astral, which is but a reflection of the physical. This is where dreams most of the time take place in the individuals who are asleep in the material plane, meaning they are void of curiosity. The middle astral is where the imagination really takes place in its fullest form. Imaginative dreams, fantasies, and all sorts of endless possibilities take place here. There is a balance between negative and positive forces, and this is where most of our dreams take place. A better way to say this is that we actually are living multiple bodies at once, or multiple lives at once. We have another life on the astral, and as you begin to practice the art of astral projection, the more you will recall about this other life that you have as an astral being. You have learned many things there. This is not just the imagination, but it is the collective unconsciousness that connects all archetypal concepts into a fluid-like reality that can be experienced with great lucidity. Here's one of the major first mind blows for the occultist. You begin exploring your consciousness. You travel the etheric realms locally, and then you travel as far as you can astrally. And at the beginning, this is usually just a representation to what you see in your day-to-day life. So you may astral project and be in your neighborhood or whatnot. But there comes a time once you travel so far outside of the etheric and lower astral planes that you begin to open a door that will open you to something that's actually outside of your consciousness. It's like you're searching as far as you can inside of yourself, and you reach a door that actually leads to a universe that exists on its own, without you and with beings that inhabit it that seem to possess more intelligence than that of the conscious viewer themselves. This is what is happening on psychedelics. The shaman or modern psychonaut is shot up into the higher astral, and usually the plant or man-made substance has a consciousness of its own that then is manipulating the experience to assist or punish the user. I've heard of datura stories where people have experienced shared visuals. These experiences are inner experiences, but they translate outside of ego, which is what makes these experiences so shocking. You basically die and experience higher dimensions of consciousness. It's like the feeling of going back home. It's a similar thing with astral projection. Be careful exploring too much, as there is a reason why you are here on the physical plane. This knowledge is of the utmost importance, but one must not devote all their time to astral matters. The true mark of a magician is mastery over the elements or fundamentals of reality. The easiest way to begin to connect with the astral is through meditation and keeping a journal. This will influence dream recall and eventually will lead to lucid dreaming. Lucid dreams are not technically astral projection because in astral projection, the consciousness must experience all the way throughout, no falling asleep involved. If one was to start writing in a journal of their dreams daily, even if nothing, just write nothing, then sooner or later, you will be writing pages. Just keep thinking about it before you go to bed. You can influence lucid dreams in many ways, but this is more of a breakdown on how the astral plane works and how to access it consciously. We have fire, water, air, and earth. Akasha being spirit. Fire and water being higher elements, and air, the distribution between these higher principles, all coalesce into the element earth or gross material. In order to safely project into the astral plane, one must learn to come in contact with these basic principles. It seems silly to one who is coming from the modern worldview, but these elements are an attempt to classify all manifestation into their basic attributes. The homunculus legend of a man created within a jar is a perfect example of occult hidden knowledge. Paracelsus was encoding a secret esoteric teaching, which was how to create another man, or body, in which you can travel into the astral realm. This body is called the body of light. More to be explained. In the oldest book of wisdom, the Tarot, something has already been written about this great mystery of the elements. The first card of this work represents the magician pointing to the knowledge and mastery of the elements. On this first card, the symbols are the sword as the fiery element, the rod as the element of the air, the goblet as that of the water, and the coins as the element of the earth. This proves without any doubt that already in the mysteries of yore, the magicians were destined for the first tarot card, mastery of the elements having been chosen as the first act of initiation. Akasa is the so-called quintessence of the four other grossly elements. Each element has two polarities, an active and passive, or positive and negative. The principle of fire. According to the Oriental scriptures, the first element born from Akasa is believed to be the element of fire. The basic qualities of the fiery principle are heat and expansion. In the Bible we read, "There shall be light," light coming from fire. Each element has two polarities, thus fire has a good and an evil side. We have fire that can be healing, such as the light from our sun that gives energy and fuel to all living beings. Or the negative, which can be destruction and burning. The principle of water. Water also comes from Akasa. It's the same as fire in that each element has a life-giving principle and a destructive dividing principle. The basic qualities are coldness and shrinkage. Water can also be seen as darkness in contrast to the fire element. Water is required for life to live, but it can be dark, cold, and desolate, such as deep in the ocean. The principle of air. Another element derived from Akasa is that of air. The initiated do not regard this principle as a real element, but they grant it as role of a mediator between the fiery and watery principles, becoming a neutral equilibrium. Through the active and passive elements of fire and water, life has now become animated. When we speak of fire, water, and air, they are not to be regarded as ordinary elements such as physical fire or water in a glass or the air we breathe, but in the case of the elements, they are universal qualities of all elements concerned. They are the basic principles of life: expansion, constriction, electric, magnetic, positive, negative, and balance and animation. The element of earth. It was said that air is not a true element, and the same is true for earth. Out of the interaction of the three aforesaid elements, the earthy principle has been born as the last element, which by its specific quality, the solidification, involves all three elements. It is this elemental earthly quality that allows us to put a concrete form on all of the aforesaid elements. The action of the three elements have been limited with the result of space, measure, and weight and time having been born. The reciprocal action of the three elements together with that of the earth, thus, has become tetrapolar, so that the earthy principle may be labeled as a four-pole magnet. This is the subjective becoming objective. The realization this element represents, it shall be. Now, one can then connect to each element and gain the approval of each archangel that resides within the spirit of each element. These fundamentals can be used in magic for creating a second man, or the homunculus, the astral light, in which you can transfer your consciousness to and create a body that not only can be manipulated in first person, but can be assigned its own individual consciousness. This astral light can be used to create a variety of astral forms, but we must wait, in time. There's still much to learn about this delightful plane that is well known to the elite mages but hidden and mysterious to the neophyte. You see, the reason people are experiencing sleep paralysis is because sometimes they use methods that force an astral experience when they're not ready. This forced astral separation can cause a shock to the system, and sometimes the user is not conscious throughout the projection. They are practicing repeating visuals or some type of exercise to influence the third eye, and at one point, they fade out and wake up again once this astral separation is happening. There are many variables, but a good conclusion would be that these are shadows that have yet to be faced, or fears manifesting themselves immediately. I know for a fact that these forms can be changed simply by the power of imagination, but in some individuals, it's so shocking to be out of your body and being faced with mental thought forms face to face. They are very real, but at the same time, they do not have power over you. One way to protect yourself is through ritual. If you're going to learn to project into the astral, then you need to consider yourself a magician. This seems crazy, right? But only to those who aren't educated in such matters. For once you begin to become disciplined in this art, the magician will learn for himself that there are methods to influencing events on the material realm simply through an astral magic ritual itself. Magic, again, is just a tool. Whether you're aware of it or not, you do astral magic every day. It's not conscious magic, but to think and to do is a process of the higher manifesting into the lower. Your personality, ego, pursuits, and goals are a product of astral magic. But there are many variables to consider in terms of what will work based on your sphere of availability. You can do magic for a car, but is it really in your sphere of availability? Like, are you in a reality where that's even possible? Or if you wanted to be the boss of a big company, could you really hold that position? Eventually you would just get fired or lose the car because A plus B equals C. Have you built up a structure in which your will can manifest in the physical plane? It's not just snapping your fingers and forcing something to happen, which is a common misunderstanding of magic. If you know magic, why don't you just make yourself rich? Is a common response from those who know nothing about magic. That's because just like any science, there are rules and regulations. In order to protect yourself on the astral realm, you need to know how to create a tetrapolar magnet. A magnet that is blessed by sacred angels and constructed upon sacred geometry. This knowledge of the Godhead will keep you protected against any demonic or negative beings that you may encounter. We will cover everything more in detail, but for now, let's continue with a brief summary. What will you encounter in the astral realm? Well, as was said at first, it is like you're exploring a representation of your subconscious or a mirror realm of the reality you experience here. But there are weird alterations or nuances that obviously make it more fantastical. But there comes a point where you enter a doorway, or a realm that seems to be a doorway from within yourself that actually leads to a universe even farther outside of you. Even grander in scale that has its own intelligences and life forms that seem to have their own existence. One of these beings are called shadow beings that linger on the etheric and lower astral planes. These beings could be suppressed fear that has gained intelligence most likely from a host. These are negative astral parasites that are created by us from our emotions and suppressed experiences. They continually feed off negative emotions and become more independent and powerful as they grow in age. The trouble you encounter and the dire things that old maid occultists warn you against all the times in the past when you read about astral projection is really nothing but this difference that exists between the different planes and what happens when you try to act on the inner planes the same way that you act on the earth physical. Let's just say some new age thought practitioner got to the astral plane and it scared the wits out of her. So instead of trying to find out what was wrong, she labeled it as hell and warned everyone to stay away. On the inner planes, you have to act in accordance with the laws that govern that plane, which laws are different than the laws that govern the physical plane. And until you learn these laws and move by them, you're going to find yourself in a very peculiar position when you try to do something. Things manifest instantly in the astral, especially emotion. You can't treat the astral plane as you do the physical world. That's why many run into issues when they first begin to practice. But there are also positive guides. There are intelligences that have been following you your whole life. These are called daemons or genii. They're not all negative, as they are aspects to how we think. We perceive ourselves as a single unit of consciousness, but most of our thoughts and inspirations are not even our own, but a product of these astral intelligences or guardian angels that have helped and guided us along our path here in the physical realm. There are elementals, which are the astral manifestations of the elements themselves in a variety of different forms. Their main forms include the salamander of fire. In the air element, they are sylphs. In the water element, they are called mermaids or undines. In the element of earth, they are gnomes or goblins. These being the connection with the astral plane and the earthly elements. The astral plane is host to the deceased ones who, having left the physical plane, are abiding in the corresponding density degree according to their spiritual maturity, which is designated by various religions as heaven or hell. The adepts only see symbols therein. There are god forms, demons, and powerful archetypal forms. Not recommended for the beginner at all. This might sound crazy, but these experiences are quite real, and honestly the best way to describe it is like a psychedelic experience where a booming voice is kind of overpowering the entire realm itself. If you reach this point, you are very far from home and starting to reach some very far doorways. You don't want to open a door that you can't close, so just keep it simple for now and avoid the subject matter. You aren't likely to just randomly encounter a god or a demon unless you specifically go looking for it. Ancient spirits are an entirely other topic. I wouldn't worry too much about what you will encounter. You just need to ask yourself, does this interest you? If so, there is a reason and you must follow it with genuine curiosity. The clairvoyant eyes must be guarded with great responsibility. We know the Spider-Man quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." Some may say, well, why do I need to go explore the astral plane? I have everything I need with Jesus. Well, that may be so, but it's more than just exploring willy-nilly and flying around. That's great and all, but like I said, I wouldn't fly too far away if I were you. I honestly don't go far at all. You want to stay low-key and build up your abilities, much like an open-world RPG. Exploring long range before you know what you're doing can get you lost. Gaining skills is an art that can benefit your life, like painting. One with clairvoyant eyes, or one who has mastered their astral senses, have gained proficiency in a talent that takes much skill and creativity. They say Nikola Tesla had photographic memory or whatever, but it's more likely that he knew how to astral project. Not using the techniques that magicians use, such as the body of light, but simply through his natural ability to simply visualize material objects. It's a very useful skill. Imagine being able to spend hours in the dream realm, in the conscious state, researching and developing skills and talents that you don't have time to do in the physical realm. You could consciously project yourself to a library and read. You could develop blueprints and make plans for a house or building. Or as the ancient magicians figured out, you can directly manipulate physical events through different rituals on the astral realm. A tool can be used for what one wishes to do with it, and in this case, it can cause changes in consciousness and for the pursuit of higher principles. Developing one's body of light so that when the material body passes, there is a vehicle in which the soul can continue to exist. Otherwise, it is replenished and will be reset, making it difficult to build up soul karma. These skills that you develop now in the astral will transfer to your next life. That is why some people have a natural talent for the occult. It's because in a past life, they dedicated themselves to the art of the magus. Not just in a physical sense, but in that they have developed concrete astral forms that then influence the next life, going back to what I was talking about with daemons and genies. These are other forms of yourself that you've experienced in other realms or planes in which you grew the foundations of consciousness. Have you ever had a dream that made no sense or had no parallels to the physical realm at all? Some feel as if they're aliens to this realm, and what I would say is that you could be from a dimension that is much different than this physical plane. The same concepts of aliens still exist in this cosmology. They are just not seen as beings from other terrestrial planets. And as with magic, these beings can be both good and evil. The coin is not one-sided. Now, in order to continue for your visit to the astral plane, mental discipline is of the utmost importance. No one is perfect in real life, but the idea is that you need to be able to shift from your normal human day-to-day mind into the mind of a magus. This is done throughout exercises that should be practiced as an art or an instrument. Other exercises depend on repetition and subconscious programming, which is indeed magic. One should not do magic in order to go to the astral plane. If you do not possess the ability to focus on one thought for an extended length of time, then once you meet more powerful intelligences on the astral, they will have power over you. Now, before we can even begin to constraining the mind to a single thought, we are faced with the most severe challenge of ignoring the physical body. Keeping a single thought form for more than 10 seconds is almost impossible for the average man with no knowledge of the occult. One simple exercise is to focus on a blue square. There's nothing evil, Just test your mental faculties and see how long you can hold a visual in your mind's eye. After 10 seconds or so, different thoughts from different subjects will start to come into mind. Earlier events, randomness, or the shape will refuse to stay still, or the colors will change. It is quite endless, but the goal is simple, and you cannot be persuaded otherwise. Hold the blue shape in mind for as long as possible. A timer will be needed. Start with 10 seconds and slowly rise until you get to 1 minute, and then 10 minutes, and then the final goal is 30 minutes. Now, at 30 minutes, an event should occur, and it will be quite noticeable, but you will forget who you are for a moment. You will literally become the symbol you were focusing on. This is the goal experience and will get you ready for the astral realm. In order to even get close to that goal, one must first learn to silence the body before the mind. If you can't find comfort in your meditation, you will never achieve this level of focus as it distracts the mind. Ancient India developed many methods to solve this problem. One must pick an asana or a position of rest and hold this position throughout the entire experience. Pick an asana that you will stick to and master before trying other positions. Don't go too difficult like trying the lotus position until you are ready. There are mental exercises that can be done in order to silence different parts of the body. This also can be healing as you are directly manipulating your etheric body with your astral senses. Imagine a golden ball of light as it begins to travel around your body. Just vocally state in your mind that body part that you want to fall asleep or where you want the golden ball to travel to. Now it may seem like, okay, I'm just manipulating my imagination or something, but once you've done this enough and you treat it like an art form, meaning it's a skill, it begins to become something else entirely. The skill of one who paints fences compared to a painter who paints beautiful murals are quite different, no? Well, it's the same with visualization. Some possess a greater degree of realism when they visualize, changing the experience entirely. There will come a time where these visuals can cause real-world effects, like in this golden ball exercise. You will begin to feel intense tingling sensations wherever the golden ball is floating. If you do the same with your chakras, you will begin to feel intense vibrational sensations that are distinct and cause a real effect to the consciousness. Chakra meditation will lead to more frequent lucid dreams and OBEs, but again, these things must be taken one step at a time. Through mantra, one can assist the process of silencing the mind. You can use some famous mantra like Om, or you can literally just make one. Create some type of symbol or word that you want to focus on and turn it into a mantra. Scramble it and create a simplified version. So maybe you want to focus on silencing the mind. Then simplify it to silence, and you can meditate on repeating the word silence. This will kind of create a firewall where now the thoughts have a hard time distracting you because you're already in focus on a single point, the mantra. Some may say, well, how does this apply to me? Well, the occult arts aren't for everyone, but many are interested, and in the modern age it seems that the subject matter is being lost in a new cosmology. The so-called truth community is worried about such fearful matters such as cataclysm, controllers, and parasites, when really we are what contain the power. They control us through these astral methods that I've been discussing, yet many are being controlled simply by giving them that fear. Many want to escape the matrix, and that's great, but how is one going to do that with no money and no power? We all possess the ability to create the life we envision, and it has nothing to do with just asking for material desires through magic. This art form develops the mind in a way that you become in line with the universe, and you could say, become an attractor, or your luck factor goes up. The universe is giving you a helping hand in creating the reality you wish to experience. We all should know by now the powers of creative visualization and attracting material experiences into our lives. This is the New Age revival known as The Secret, which actually really is just a secret distorted as much as it possibly could be. The secret is that mind and reality are integrated. That's why it applies to you. I'm showing you a way to go about this process consciously and with respect, instead of letting external forces rule you. Okay, you're a Christian? Well, the whole Bible is based on the esoteric doctrine. It comes from the tarot. Even the Gnostics were great mystics developed in these basic faculties of mind. There's nothing wrong with strengthening your mind, intellect, and creating a reality that you wish to experience here on the physical realm. Instead of praying to a god for something you need in life, which is magic, why not develop the skills and opportunities that you need yourself using your conscious magic? You're either suffering at the magic of others or the fact that you're ignorant of your own magic. It's a tool, and unfortunately many abuse it, but it is a fundamental art and ancient in its origin, and we must continue to revive its essence to the best of our ability. Now we will assume that you have mastered thought discipline, trained with each element individually, and have achieved deep states of meditation. We will begin with the protection ritual, as it is a great insight into what this experience entails.
Again, right here, this whole video basically shows this is earth, wind, fire, and water, right?
The elements, yes.
And the ether, the middle. You see the divine feminine, divine masculine energies, right?
Yes.
On the plane, and most of your flags are made of this cross or turned sideways, like the British flag,
yes.
Scotland. They all have the same, either turned sideways or.
And like he said, they use this. The knowledge they use. That's why the knowledge is being shared now, so we can use it for our advantage instead of giving them all our loosh, our power, which they have the power they do because we're given over ours to enhance theirs, to create the world they want instead of the world we want. So this is just some of the knowledge occult means, hidden knowledge. But that's what we were talking about, like the Stargate and stuff, that they know how to astral travel. They know how to, all this, the people that had this knowledge, they know how to go into other realms. Like he said, Nikola Tesla, he would even say he would go into a state of sleep that was in between states of asleep and awake, and that's where he would get his inventions, right? He'd pull them from the ether. So that's what this is basically telling you. It's something you have to tap into. Some people have it naturally, but if they knew how to enhance what their natural gifts are, they could really do a lot. So if the heart's right, this could all be used for greatness, right? But unfortunately, it's been hidden, and the people have used it not for themselves and not to better humanity, but to better only them.
So we're going to let us turn our attention back to the word angle or angel, right? We're talking about light. Throughout history, angels are often depicted as beings of light. An important fact about light is that it has electromagnetic waves, which are waves that express the characteristics of the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy. The evidence of this can be seen when the word electromagnetic is separated into two words, transforming it into the prefix electro and the word magnetic. The prefix electro is a word forming element that etymologically, this word, I can't even, it's giving me a tongue twister right here, this one, etymology, yeah, means electrical or electricity, as the word magnetic is etymologically and literally means having the properties of a magnet, right? So a magnet, one side is red and one side is blue. So electricity represents power and the divine masculine energy, and the magnetism represents the divine feminine energy.
Yes.
369. Electricity and magnetism are, in a way, opposites. And they say opposites attract.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Couples, it's always one part.
It brings balance.
Right. So electricity and magnetism are, in a way, opposites. However, one cannot exist without the other. So we're looking at it when we look at the art all throughout this video. We see that represented here. Electricity and magnetism in your face.
Yes, the male and female.
Right. Earth, wind, fire, water, all the elements that we're all made of. The four planes.
this video's Mind Unveiled. If you go to his channel on YouTube, he's got all sorts of stuff. He goes over the origins of Christianity, how it started, how it got distorted. It's like a 3-part series, but it's really good. He has tons of great information. He's got books from like the 1400s and earlier that he goes over, and he has everything on, like the Cabbage Patch Kids, all that stuff. It's a great channel if you want to learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So here we got it again. Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, the 1111. But I like the pictures, the old pictures that he brings to the subject matter, because it opens, if you see what you're looking at, it opens up everything. Words can't even describe.
Like he talks about when you dream, you astral travel then, but you don't realize that that's what you're actually doing. You're going into other realms, and if you practice, you can control those dreams and actually use them for your benefit. Like you said, if you have a scary dream, right, it's a shadow of your own consciousness, something that is of yourself.
Right. All right. Hold on. There we go. And to also add to the red and the blue of electricity and the magnetism, male, female, divine feminine, divine masculine. We have that. Oh, that's a little bitty picture. Dang it. It's kind of hard to see, but you get it.
It's wrong.
L is the life force, father spirit, pattern male, mother, matrix matter, female. Ma is the red and the blue, electricity and magnetism. Right here, secret creation of lies in the wave. Let's talk about energy. And that's it. This one.
Not a coincidence.
Oh, we can't hear.
Means your consciousness is ready for this message. The Nikola Tesla secret 369 is actually very simple. It took me 20 years to fully understand it, and I will explain it to you in 5 minutes. After studying psychology, quantum physics, numerology, working with addicts and spiritual teachers in my rehab centers, I finally connected all the pieces. Our universe is energy, but this energy isn't random. It moves through codes, energetic codes, and those codes are hidden in numbers. Every number holds a frequency, like a sound wave or a vibration. Just think about it. Computers run on numbers. Every letter in the alphabet has a number. Your furniture has a barcode. Money bills, your birth date, your phone number. It's all coded. That's why numbers hold power. They're not just symbols. They hold energy, transmit frequency. And in the human matrix, there are 9 core energies. The matrix looks like a 3x3 grid made up of 3 rows. Each row in the matrix represents a different part of your life. The bottom row is about your physical life, things like health, money, and taking action. The middle row is about your feelings and how you connect with people. The top row is about your ideas, creativity, and deeper purpose. Let me break them down for you. Bottom row, 1, 4, 7. This is your foundation. Without it, nothing else can truly manifest. 1 means, I know who I am, I know what I want. 4, I make a plan and I stay consistent. 7. I have the physical energy to make it real. But here's the secret. That energy doesn't come from thinking, it comes from your body. Your body is your battery. When your body is tired or weak, your mind can't focus. Your emotions crash. Everything feels off. So, what helps you recharge? Walking, grounding, meditation, movement, being in nature, deep breath, enough sleep. That's how your body generates energy again. And that energy, what you attract. You don't attract what you think. You attract what your body vibrates. Love, abundance, peace, opportunities, the right things to achieve your goals. Now, middle row, 258. This row shows your emotional energy and how you relate to others. 2 is your ability to read people and feel the energy in the room. 5 is your voice, how you speak, express emotions, and deal with change. 8 is your leadership energy, how you take charge and bring ideas to life. This role tells us how others feel when you are around them. It's your energy in relationships, communication, and social spaces. Top row 369. This role shows how you shine through your creativity, wisdom, and what you are here to give others. 3 is your fun energy, your joy, your voice, and your love for learning and sharing. 6 is your emotional strength, your care for yourself, your ability to set limits and keep life in balance. 9 is wisdom, the power to finish things, see the big picture, and help others grow. People with strong 9 energy are born to teach and inspire. They don't just go through life, they live. Here's the truth. Anyone can create the life they dream of, but only if their matrix turned on. That means the right energies are awake and working together. So, how do you know which energies are missing? It's all hidden in your birthday. Your birthday is like your personal code. It shows you what energies you were born with, what comes naturally to you, and what's missing, the parts you need to grow so you can feel whole and powerful. But you must start from the bottom. You can be as gifted or spiritual as you want, but if you don't have energy, direction, and stability, which is 147, you will stay a visionary that nobody sees. If this made sense to you, share it with someone you care about. And if something clicked for you, just write down in the comments, I feel this. To see what energies are already in you and which ones you still need, just follow the link in my profile and visit my website. I created
Darius
a
Matrix.
simple...
Yes.
Yeah. And that's it. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be at 7 and 11. Be back tomorrow, same time, same that channel. And we want to thank everybody again for helping us out with Scruffy. We also want to continue prayers for Mike and his family.
Your mom.
My mom still in ICU.
And we have a GoFundMe for Donna in the chat too. If we can keep adding to that so she can achieve her goal of getting her an RV as well. We would appreciate it.
And we'll be back tomorrow.
Good night,
24,
everyone.
less than 24 hours.
We love y'all.
My voice may crack, my hands may shake, but when I speak, a truth won't break. Clouds roll in, shadows high. I stand tall, won't step aside. Lightning strikes, fire in my chest. Thunder calls, I won't forget. Fear may shout, but I push through. Ain't no storm that tells me what to do. The storm was loud, but so was I. Wind came strong.